Hi, I'm Taylor Peterson with Main Place Real Estate. My team and I are here to talk to you about the home buying process.
There's a lot that goes into buying a home, and our Main Place team broke it down to 7 easy steps. Let's dive into it.
Step 1 of the process is to consult with a real estate broker, like myself or anyone else as part of our team. As you consult with us, we're going to help you get familiar with this process. You can watch the rest of this video and consult with your broker to get through the process. As you discuss with your agent, you're going to talk with them what's important to you, what you must have in a home, what you would like to have in a home, and what some of the bonus features you might like to have, such as a fenced-in backyard, a pool, sauna, hot tub, anything special like that. Make sure you're open and honest with your broker. They're here to work for you.
The next step in the home buying process is consulting with a mortgage lender. We usually suggest consulting with someone locally, so here in Decatur or Macon County. Maybe it's somebody that you already have a banking relationship with, you have a checking or a savings account with. That's usually the best place to start. They're gonna go over your credit score, your debt to income ratios with you, and after they visit those things, then they're going to give you an ideal purchase price or a range that is a good price point for you to be looking in. Once you have that information from them, they will provide you with what's called a pre-qualification letter. You're gonna need that letter in order to buy a house or to make an offer on a house. So you'll need that. That's very important information. Sellers are gonna want to see that letter. Let's take a look at this example of buying a home versus renting a home. Let's say you're purchasing a home for $100,000. You're doing 5% or $5,000 down payment, initial investment, which means that you're borrowing $95,000 approximately. Interest rates are really low. We've got 4% on here. They're actually a little bit lower this year in 2020. But if you do that over 30 years and you've got a decent credit score, you add back in kind of an average amount of property taxes and insurance here, just for the example, you're looking at about $721 per month, give or take a little bit, for your loan payment, for your mortgage payment per month. Now, a lot of you may be renting or have rented in the past, and you probably know that the same house of similar value, of similar amenities, is probably going to be $750 or more per month. This kind of ties into the power of equity. So as you can see, when you're renting, you don't really gain any equity at all. It's not your property, you're renting this property, so there's no equity to be made. But when you own a home, you're actually increasing your equity every year. Every time you make a payment, every year that you've made complete payments, you are increasing your equity.
The next step in the home buying process is the home search. This is the fun part. This is where we take all the criteria that you're looking for in a home and pull a list of houses that might work for you. You can do this first by checking out any open houses that are done weekly. On our website at mainplace.us, we provide 3D virtual tours, HD photos, floor plans that you can easily see what the home would look like before you even step foot in. And then we'll take a list of the homes that you actually want to see, schedule those tours, so that way you can have an in-person opportunity to view them, check out if it's something you're interested in, things you don't like, areas of the town, and then obviously making sure that that fits all within your price point that you're looking for. And make sure throughout the process that you're sharing your feedback with us. That gives us the opportunity to adjust any criteria that we need to based on your specific wants and needs.
So the next step of the process, once you found the perfect home, is to sit down and make an offer. Some of the things we'll go over is earnest money, which is kind of a good faith deposit you'll put down after you have a signed contract that lets the sellers know you're serious about buying the home, and the title company will hold this for you until the closing. It's usually around 1% of the purchase price. We'll also talk about what sort of inspections you want to do and some other things we can negotiate, such as closing costs, any personal property items you might want to include in the sale, such as appliances. And we'll also want to make sure we have a copy of your pre-approval letter from your lender, just so we can be sure you have the funds available to buy the house. There's a couple different types of home inspections you can do. The first one is just the whole home inspection. The inspector will go over every aspect of the home, from the roof to the plumbing to the electrical, anything that they can see or get into, and this will just give you the confidence to know that the home you're buying is in good condition. You can also do a termite inspection. This is really important because you have no idea what kind of damage termites can do that you're unable to even see, so it's great to have a termite inspection done. You can also choose to do a radon inspection. Radon is just an odorless, colorless gas that you oftentimes won't even know is there, so if it'll make you feel a little more comfortable, go ahead and do the radon inspection. If your home is on a well or has a septic system, it can also be a good idea to go ahead and have someone check those out as well. If the home inspection reveals any defects that you want to ask the sellers to potentially pay for or have fixed, your realtor can help you negotiate that throughout the process as well.
By this point in the home buying process, you should be ready to finish your application process with the lender. You probably filled out an application at the beginning of this process in order to get a pre-qualification letter, like we talked about before, but at this point they may have just some final things that they need from you. So you're gonna do the final application process. Once you do that, they're probably gonna need to get some documents from you. Once you've completed that, they have everything they need, they're gonna send it to what's called underwriting. The underwriters and processors will go through the file, make sure that they have everything that they need, tax returns, pay stubs, all that good stuff. There's also gonna be an appraisal that will be done on the property. So the appraisal basically upholds the value of the property. So every time you have a loan, a lender's gonna require this for the file, just to make sure that if they're loaning you $100,000, that the property is actually worth $100,000. Once you get done with that, they will go to final approval for the loan. And it is very, very important that during this process, you do not make any new credit purchases. Don't go to Best Buy and buy that washer and dryer on your new credit card that you just took out with them. Anytime you do things like that, it could actually hinder your process. It could push out this process longer, or you may not even end up qualifying to buy the home that you're under contract to buy, that you're in love with. So once we get to that point, really the last step is getting everything ready to go to the title company for closing.
The final step of the home buying process is the closing. This is where you'll become the new owner of your home. However, prior to getting to the closing table and signing all the documents, there are a few things you need to do prior to that. As real estate agents, we'll walk you through a final walkthrough of the property just to make sure the home's in the condition in which we remember it and that there's no issues that we need to address prior to doing that. Also need to switch our utilities over, your power and your electric. That'll be done through Ameren. You can do that online or by giving them a phone call. Change your address with USPS just to make sure that there's no lapse of mail coverage. You also want to take opportunity to set up your garbage. Those can vary depending on which area of your town you're in, but those are easily done by just making a phone call or going online and doing that. And then the final step, when we get to the closing table, which will be done at one of our local title companies here in town, is where you'll sign all your documents. This includes your deed, your loan paperwork, just to make sure that everything's squared away. And then once you're done, you'll be the new owner of your new home.
Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully the video was helpful and made you more familiar with the home buying process. Whether you're in the market to buy your first home, seventh home, or an investment property, please contact one of the Main Place team members today. Our phone number is 217-422-3335 or visit us online at www.mainplace.us. Find your place with Main Place.